Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an anti haul. Now I've seen these everywhere and I just love it so much. I love watching them, like watching what people won't be buying. So if you're new to an anti haul, it's basically just listing a name, like a load of products that you're not going to buy basically, and the reasons why you're not going to buy them. And I've made a big list on my phone and it's just so much fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So number one on my list is NARS. I will not be buying anything from NARS purely because of the fact that they used to be cruelty free and they decided that they wanted to start selling in China, which China, if you didn't know, requires by law for companies to test on animals before they can sell. So to me it just seemed like they're very money hungry and throwing the ethics out of the window just so that they can sell products in China, which really sucks. And I'm very disappointed in that and I'm really not happy. Now I'm just gonna get this clear, I'm not the biggest animal lover out there. Like, I love animals but I'm not like whatever, but I do actively try to use brands that are cruelty free. I have the few like exceptions in my collection, but most of my makeup is cruelty free. I would say probably about 90% of it is cruelty free, so I very much try to stick with cruelty free just because obviously it's 2017, there's no need to test on animals in this day and age, just because there's a lot of companies that don't need to do it and still create amazing products, and drugstore and high end, you know, so there's no need for it. So anything from NARS I will not be buying at all. Plus none of their products really have ever appealed to me. I don't know if that's just me, but nothing from NARS, no, never. Number two on the list is YSL. That's kind of similar to the first thing, is that I don't want to buy any products from them because they do test on animals. And I feel like a high-end brand has no excuse for testing on animals, because there's lots of drugstore companies that don't test on animals and still make incredible products. So I just feel like there's no need to test on animals anymore, and I just feel like YSL should up their game and become cruelty free, because there's just no need for it in 2017. I'm not going to go on too much of a rampage just because obviously I've explained it with the NARS thing, but I just feel like it's just not necessary. And again, none of their products have appealed to me at all, really. Like, the packaging's beautiful, I get that, but it's just, nah, nothing appeals to me from them, so I'm just not about it. The next on the list is Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Now I know a few people that have this and love this, and I've heard a lot of people don't like it, and that's kind of what's swaying me not to buy it, just because of the stuff that I've heard people say, the mixed reviews and stuff. Now I have very dry skin and I find that like full coverage foundations don't really work for me, just because of how dry my skin is and it just picks up on everything. I tend to go for a more dewy medium coverage kind of foundation, but I think the Estee Lauder Double Wears just never really appealed to me. And I have a friend that has it, Brogan, you probably know her, and she had it, and the first few times she used it, it like cracked on her nose and it just kind of like disintegrated, I guess, and it's just not for me. I just don't see the appeal in it. I know it's very hyped and I know that people love it and a lot of people love it, but I'm just not really interested in it. I think the only high-end full coverage foundation I've been interested in is the Kat Von D Lock-It, and I have that and I'm kind of so-so on it, so that's just my reasoning. The next item on the list is Kylie Cosmetics. I will not be buying anything from Kylie Cosmetics for a number of reasons. One, it's very overpriced for what you're getting. I just feel like $30 for a lip lacquer and a lip liner is just a ridiculous amount of money. Two, the customs charges is ridiculous. Just from ordering one item you'll get charged a lot of customs and it's just not worth it for me. Three, they're too overhyped for me to just not be interested. Four, I've heard that Colourpop making the same company and they're a lot cheaper, so I just don't see any point in going to Kylie. You're basically just paying for the name and the packaging, and I just can't be bothered with all that. I can't be bothered with the rush of going on her website, trying to get a product and it crashing and not being able to get it. Like, I just don't understand the hype at all. I'm just not I'm not interested at all. And I don't like the Kardashians, that's just me, I know a lot of people do. I don't like them, I'm not interested at all. I'm just kind of like overpriced rubbish I'm not interested by, basically. And that's the same for KKW Beauty. I just don't get the hype with it, I don't get the appeal. It's Kim Kardashian West Beauty, I just don't understand it. It's a contour stick that you get about this much product in, and a contour palette, which you can get pretty much the exact same thing from Makeup Revolution, and it's like miles cheaper, and I just don't get the appeal with it. It's again ridiculously overpriced. It's basic, like there's companies that have already been doing that for like ages, so I'm not buying anything from them at all. Just no, it's not happening. The next thing on my list is the Farsali, am I saying that correctly? Like the little oil dropper things, you know, the ones that you see all over Instagram, especially the pink one, which is in the purple bottle, and the gold, I think it's the gold elixir one. I don't get why it's so expensive. You're paying for oil and water with a bit of gold leaf in it. I just don't understand the hype, and I think with me is, one, it's super expensive and I can't be dealing with that, I can't be bothered, and two, I've just seen it so much that I'm just not interested anymore. Like, you see it all over Instagram and I'm honestly just sick of seeing it. I'm just not interested in it at all. When you first saw a few videos you thought, oh, that's quite cool, like that seems like a really good product, and then you just see it over and over and over and over again, and I'm just like, nah, bye. The next item on the list is the MAC roller liner. I think that's what it's called, you know, like the pizza cutter roller eyeliner. That just seems like it just makes eyeliner so much more complicated than it actually is. And I think for such a high price point for something that seems so complicated and not easy to use, I just think it's just not necessary. I think a felt tip liner is the easiest thing to use ever. Like, I swear by felt tip eyeliners. I just think they work so much better, and I just don't see why adding a roller onto it to make it more complicated is really necessary, basically. And that's all my reasoning for why I'm never going to buy that product. Next item on my list is Natasha Denona palettes. Now, they do look stunning and the packaging's beautiful and the colours look incredible. But they are so expensive. So expensive. Like, I was looking at the Sunset palette because I love them kind of shades. I'm obsessed with the colours. It's £120. For like, I don't even know how many colours you get in it. What, like, is it 24 maybe? And I'm just like, no, that is ridiculously expensive. I know a lot of people hype them up saying, oh my god, they're the best eyeshadows I've ever used. They are incredible, I love them. £120. That is a stupid amount of money. That's like a day's work. I'm just, nah. It's just so expensive. But I can't reiterate this enough. The colours are gorgeous and I would love to have one. But the price point just puts me off. I'm never buying one of them palettes ever. They're so expensive. I think the most expensive is like £240, which is just a ridiculous amount of money. Next item on my list is Laura Geller highlighters. Now, again, this is a similar situation to the Natasha Denona. They look gorgeous, they are absolutely stunning, but they are so expensive for what you get. Laura Geller highlighters are pretty much the same size as this. Like, they are tiny pans. They are so small, and for the price point, I think they're between £20 and £30. It's just not worth it for me, just because they're tiny, absolutely tiny for what you get. And I just feel like you have Laura Geller, which I think are £21, and like for an extra, what, £4, you could go to Jeffree Star and get a huge pan. And same with MAC, add another £4, you get a decent sized pan. It's just kind of like, why is it so expensive for so little product? I'm sure they're amazing and everyone loves Gilded Honey, but I don't want to splash out for something so tiny. Next on the list is MAC Soft and Gentle. Now, so many people adore this product and I can understand why. It looks gorgeous on them. But when you have skin as fair as mine, it's just not going to work out. It's just really not going to work out. So, although I love the colour of it, it's beautiful, it looks like it would be stunning, it's just too dark for me. The skin tone's just not right. So I tend to stick to very like light highlights like I've got today that actually kind of blend in. So if I wore MAC Soft and Gentle, it would just, you'd see it. And it's just, next on the list is the Lorac Pro palettes. Now these look stunning and I know a lot of people love them, but I just feel like it's just basic, you know. I feel like I could go down to Superdrug or Boots and get a palette from a drugstore brand like Makeup Revolution or MUA or something that looks just like it and have similar colours. So I just don't feel the need to splash out on a palette that just looks kind of samey. Do you know what I mean? As in, you can get it from lots of other brands. That sounds so shady. I'm not trying to be shady, like, they look beautiful and I'm sure they're amazing, but I just feel like I can get those colours elsewhere and that I don't really need to splurge. Do you know what I mean? Are you with me? Are you with me? So they do look amazing and I bet they're really, really good, but for me, I'm just kind of like, well, I could probably get them colours somewhere else. Next on the list is Kevyn Aucoin products. Now, I have a very solid reason for this, and this is the only reason. No, I have two reasons. One, nothing appeals to me. I've had a look at the range. Nothing appeals to me. Nothing that I can't get from a drugstore brand really jumps out at me saying, oh my god, this is revolutionary, let me buy it now. Because I just feel like I can go down again to the drugstore and pick up something just like it for a lot cheaper. And two, the price point is ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. I think contour powder is like £30 and I'm just like, I can get a full palette of contour for no more than £10, you know. So it's just the high price point for me. It just really puts me off. Next on the list is Too Faced chocolate bar palettes. Now they look beautiful and I look at them every time I go to Debenhams and I'm just like, oh, they're so pretty. But why buy them when I've got the dupes, you know? I have the dupes from Makeup Revolution and I absolutely adore them. And Makeup Revolution have a bigger line of chocolate bar palettes. Like they have a white chocolate one, they have a pink one, two pink ones, a black one. Like they have this huge range of chocolate bar palettes and I just feel like I don't need to go spending like £40-ish on this one when I've already got the dupe of it, when I've got one very similar that pretty much does exactly the same thing. So it's just a case of me having a dupe and not being interested in the actual real deal, I guess. Next on the list is the Balm Mary Luminizer highlighter. Now, Soph Does Nails is one of my favourite YouTubers. She swears by this highlighter, she adores it. Whereas I don't really wear gold highlights, I tend to go towards silver. So I think I'm like a cool undertone skin person just because I love cool tones. But yeah, it's just the tone for me really. It's just a bit too golden and I feel like if I did put it on you would see it on my skin. Now Sophie's like really pale so it probably wouldn't. I'd probably be fine, but for me the colour's just off. I'm not a gold wearer. Like I have a few gold highlighters in my collection but I use them very rarely. I very much go for silvers and whites and cool toned highlights. So nothing against the brand or whatever, just the colour's not for me. And they don't have an alternative which is kind of white that's light enough. They have like a beautiful rose gold but it's too dark. It would just not, you would just see it on my skin. You'd see it like front on. So it's just the shade for me. And the last product in this list is Lipstick Queen Frog Prints range. If you don't know what that is, it's the colour changing lipstick and blush, and I think they do a lip gloss where it's green in the pan and then it turns pink. That just doesn't really appeal to me all that much. The colour changing thing, it's a bit meh, whatever. If I wanted a pink I would just go buy a pink, you know. And Barry M do a green one, which they've been doing for years. They do a green that turns pink. So I just feel like if I did want to try it, I would just go straight to Barry M and not even bother with Lipstick Queen just because of how expensive it is. So basically that's it. So that wraps up my anti-haul, or anti-haul, however you want to say it. I really hope you enjoyed it and sorry if I rambled on too long. Let me know what you will not be buying in the comments down below because I would love to know. And give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more of me and my videos. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!